they're standing, man, Alexa Grasso feels like she holds the advantage. As you said in the walk, Joe, she's so crisp, she's so sharp with her hands. If she's striking, she feels she can go with anyone. This is where you will see if Alexa Grasso can fight at 125, when she's forced to clinch and wrestle with the bigger girls.
And Macy Barber is big for 125.
Yes, she is.
Big and strong.
Grasso and her team expected a lot of this approach.
And look, she looks so strong in there, right? Alexa Grasso going up from 115 a couple fights ago, or a fight ago, still looks so strong when she's fighting a big fighter in Macy Barber for that weight class.
Yeah, I mean, she was killing herself to make 115. This is so much better for her.
1-0 for Grasso thus far since moving up to 125 pounds.
All right, we are here. Welcome, MMA Ed. This is the fight reaction for UFC 258, Usman versus Burns, and it's getting started. We're in the co-main event. Oh, Macy Barber just took 2 to the face. 2 pieces of serious soda. And Macy Barber's a big 125er, but she's coming back off of a injury and from her first loss. If I'm correct, she's 9-1 now. And the woman she's going against, Miss Alexa Grasso, pretty beast. Pretty beast. Right now, Macy has her shoved up against the cage, and she's imposing her will. Grasso's fighting, though. She's not letting her take her down. She has great takedown defense, which is definitely a positive for her, considering Macy's a bulldog. Macy's not going to let her go. Trying to crack open a beer. There we go. Not your father's root beer, one of the best.
Yes. And now she's wearing Macy out.
So Alexa is basically, she reversed things and she was starting to wear on Macy, but Macy's now back in control up against the cage. And she's got the underhooks, hands locked, and there's knees going back and forth. But Alexa Grasso is not, she's not just taking it. Like, she's fighting back. This is a struggle up against this cage. And Alexa Grasso's knees are so fucking sharp. Like, she's throwing knees right into her rib cage. And now she's driving it into her legs. Oh, Macy just returned a mean elbow. Alexa answered with a counter left. That was crucial. And Macy's very active. She's hungry. You could tell she's ready. She was ready to return. Yo, what's up, bro? In the co-main event, I got Macy, but things are going. This is a fight. Like, these girls are scrapping, man. Alexa Grasso did not come in here to be a step over. Like, she didn't come into this fight like, oh, I'm just gonna be her welcome back fight. Like, Alexa Grasso is putting it on. She's putting on a show. Yes, Macy did get wrecked in her last fight, but in defense, Macy also got injured in the last fight, which led to that defeat. A lot of people believe that for the simple fact that Macy was basically fighting on one leg for the rest of that round. Pretty much the entirety of I think the second round that she ended up losing in. She's rattled, though. She's definitely rattled, and I think it doesn't really, I don't think it's ring rust. I don't think it's a problem in that sense. But she wasn't expecting a fight. And that's exactly what she's getting with Alexa Grasso. Alexa Grasso is not a pushover. By no means.
Right here you see Alexa Grasso off that right hand land, a beautiful left hook. Get back to space before she can get hit. Nice elbow there by Barber. Look at this exchange. They both missed, but look at the left
Oh.
Nice right hand by Macy.
Oh. And
Right hand,
answered.
left hand by Alexa Grasso.
And it's crazy because for every shot that Macy's throwing her, Alexa's giving her 2 back. Yeah, she tore her ACL. She fucked it up too. Take care, bro. Take care.
Is yours on ESPN Plus at 8 p.m. Eastern. Prelims prior at 5 o'clock only on E+. Little bit of a panicky.
This has been a pretty good card so far, I gotta admit. What's up, man?
Cutman Scott Ream working to try to stem the swelling there underneath that left eye.
Can I watch the fight? Can I watch the fight though? How about you let me watch the fight? You want to watch it with me? That's cool. But you kind of you don't want to get in my way, please.
And I believe that she has to because the cleaner this looks, the better it is for Alexa Grasso.
Oh, what were you kicking at? Macy just threw a kick that went nowhere. It was totally telegraphed. Can you get off me?
A non-threatening distance.
Yes, it's twofold. Because then she has to really dart in, and when she darts in, that's when
Oh, Alexa Grasso is tagging her.
By Grasso defensively.
Oh, and Macy's trying to keep her head off the line, but she's getting rocked. Oh, she answered with a head kick though.
That's so, I like that word. That's so, what does that mean? Good?
There we go. There we go.
I've heard Velasquez say that a few times in his life. Why don't you text him? What's that mean? That's so, I like it.
Coming up on 3.5 minutes.
Oh,
Oh my goodness! Rocked her!
Alexa Grasso just rocked Barber with 2 shots straight to the jaw.
Hands for Alexa Grasso. She is in the zone here, round 2.
Oh my goodness!
She allowed Barber to clinch with her, though.
Yep. It'll allow Macy to get her wits about her a little bit, try to clear the cobwebs. But again, that speaks to the advancement that she's made, right? Before she was darting in there trying to get it back. Instead, she sat back when Alexa got in the ring. She was able to clinch her.
And now Barber's doing the only thing she can do, and that's dirty box. She's tying her up and she's throwing elbows close, coming out the clinch with elbows and punches. But she's still fighting, but Grasso rocked the shit out of Macy's face. Like Macy's hurt right now.
Not at all. No, she's a legitimate flyweight now. She probably was all along, just torturing herself to making 115.
Like some sort of protest there from Alexa Grasso.
Oh, nice knee to the body by Barber. I think she was saying that she was grabbing her glove.
Oh, Alexa's throwing those knees to the gut. I know Macy's insides are fucking rattled. Because Alexa has rocked her body with nasty knee shots. Oh, and now they just throwing him. Macy's angry.
But I mean, Grasso has taken these shots and they have landed clean.
And Macy's just throwing these feints from like 2 miles away, and I don't understand. I wonder if something's wrong with her sight, because she is throwing these telegraph shots that are like, dude, those can't even be considered feints. Oh!
Barber needed that.
Yeah, Barber definitely needed that. Macy just dropped her. She kicked her in the chest, and she kind of came with a follow-up 2-piece in the soda, but I don't think the whole thing landed. Oh, and she gave her her arm. Oh, and now Alexa Grasso's on top. There's a scramble on the ground that Macy started, but she did not finish. Alexa Grasso is now on top of her, imposing her will. She almost caught her arm into an arm lock.
And now she's got Macy Barber's arm stuck under. So where did she grab that? Yeah.
She's on the wrong side if she wants the arm triangle, but she is in side control.
But look at
And now she's just dropping like shoulder shots in the Macy's jaw. Oh shit, she's transitioning. She's trying to get a head arm choke.
so tight. Macy Barber turned to a hip to her knees now.
Oh, but Macy just gave her back. Alexa Grasso is putting on a clinic of jiu-jitsu.
Grasso has never had
And Macy Barber is in a real dangerous position. She's basically Alexa has her back. She has both hooks in, and she's fighting her arms to get a rear naked choke. And Macy is fighting. She's fighting for all she has, but she's in a bad position right now because Alexa is on her. She is definitely that monkey on her back right now. And that's the end of round two. And once again, Alexa Grasso, I think, that's the stronger fighter. I hate to say it, but right now, in terms of a decision, Alexa Grasso is winning this fight. Yeah, she rattled the shit out of her. Oh.
Big step in jab by Macy Barber and a big kick to the body by Barber. And that was on the kick. Alexa got taken down, but managed a beautiful transition. She threatened with the arm bar and then got to this position where she was threatening with the head and arm choke.
Do one right here. Right here, Mama. I've seen you do amazing things in the gym. It's time to go and do them right now. Let's go, girl. Let's go. Let's go. We got 5 minutes of hard work, Macy.
So now Macy's corner is basically telling her, Macy, you're going to have to knock this bitch out. You're either going to have to knock her out or you're going to have to choke her out because you're not. If I heard that right, he wants her to do something amazing because that's the only way she's winning this fight.
She's going to need a big third round. You know, she landed some nice shots in the second. She got the takedown in the third, but Alexa Grasso changed position and ended up in a very dominant position.
Yeah, when she got that takedown, she had held it for a brief moment for Alexa Grasso.
Now, something else I'm waiting to see is if Alexa Grasso goes on the attack because this is third and final round. I would say put the nail in the coffin. But she has to be. I understand her hesitance. This is Macy Barber, and Macy Barber has literally one punch knockout power. And she's physically the bigger of the two fighters. Like Barber looks like she's at least a good 5-10 pounds heavier than Grasso.
For Grasso, Joe.
How calm Grasso is when Macy is throwing these feints. She's not fighting for anything. Look at this. Just keeping her hands up high.
And now they're exchanging, but Grasso is. I gotta say, I think Grasso's a little bit more accurate in her punching and her striking than Barber is. Barber is very powerful, but she's not as precise as Grasso is, and I think that's what's losing her this fight. Grasso has her locked up against the cage right now, and she's just laying in just knee after knee after knee, whether it be to the leg or the body. She's laying these knees in, and that's definitely earning her points. It's definitely making her look good with the judges. I mean, she has the most control right now up against the cage. And the most that Barber can try and do is strike out, strike her way out of the clinch. Oh, Barber just muscled her down. And now she's in Grasso's guard. Oh, and now she's just raining down shots. Now Barber's in her element. Oh, she has in her guillotine. Oh, and she just kneed her in the face. Yeah, Barber's turning it up. She's turning it on. Oh! Oh, Barber is really laying into her now up against the cage. Kicks, front kicks, haymakers. She was laying into her. And now she had to lock back up because I think she punched herself out a little bit. We are minutes away from Burns versus Usman. This is going to be a war for the ages.
She wants time. She wants to fight clean. Macy Barber's making this just a dog fight right now.
Good knee to the body there by Alexa.
This is where Alexa finds space to compose herself. She gets to the clinch, and even if she ain't winning it, she's holding Macy in close and not taking all the damage she has taken in the third round.
Yeah, and this is the best thing she can do to avoid Macy's barrage is lock up with her. Lock up with her. Even if she's got her back up against the cage, she's still throwing elbows, and she's still able to stop the onslaught from Macy Barber. That's what's actually smart from Grasso. But she has a lot to work with because Macy is a fucking beast. Like she's clearly the stronger of the two fighters. Even though Grasso is putting in some work, don't get me wrong, she's handling her own, but she's having to put a lot of power into it because Macy is just
You think Alexa
bogarting.
thinking stay right here, you're out of your mind. She wants Macy Barber as close as she can keep her to get to the end of the fight.
And I thought it was interesting that Barber shot for a takedown to close the distance when she was seemingly.
And now Barber's just trying to get away from the cage. She has 39 seconds to make something happen. Because we're in the home stretch here, folks.
A little tired. I know she's letting it all go, but you get tired in that 13th, 14th minute.
And I think the problem is Barber, if she wins this fight, it's going to be close. This is going to be a split decision if she wins. But right now, Macy's the aggressor, and I think once again it's just not accurate. There's so many telegraph shots. Now that was a nice takedown. That was a very nice takedown.
Finished by Macy Barber, man.
Yeah, what a tremendous effort. Tremendous effort in the third.
A big third round for Macy Barber. Alexa Grasso does not believe it was enough. Huge opportunity for these women on a big pay-per-view co-main event. They
So
maximize the showcase.
I'm hard pressed to give that to Macy. I'm more inclined to give that one to Grasso. Grasso was the more accurate of the strikers. To me, Grasso did a bit more damage in terms of overall significant strikes. I think Macy was just too wild. Unfortunately, she wasn't able to land. I don't think she was able to land half the shots that she threw. She did more missing than landing. And yeah, when she landed, it was nice, but if you only land twice out of 20 punches, it's not really meaning much.
You see Macy Barber just throwing caution to the wind and really just trying to end the fight. Both of these young ladies.
Yeah, I agree.
And it was a great fight.
I wish I could stream, but they'll shut me down.
Download the DraftKings app for free to get in on all the fight action. Use code UFC when you sign up. DraftKings, you can bet on it. You see the numbers in terms of
Yeah, Macy Barber, she couldn't land as many strikes on a significant level. 22. Yeah, her best round was the last round.
for 5 for Macy Barber. Alexa Grasso unofficially did not attempt a takedown tonight.
Other than that,
Brought to you by Guaranteed.
Grasso controlled the first two rounds with significant strikes.
To get started with the scorecards is Bruce Buck.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. All 3 judges scored this contest 29.
What's up, Tazar? What's up, Dalen?
Unanimous decision, Alexa
Yeah,
Grasso.
we knew that was going to happen.
What a win for Alexa Grasso, biggest of her career, 5-3 in the
Unanimous.
UFC, and a perfect 2-0.
Yeah, I'm not surprised at the outcome.
Earned win, but I gotta tell you, I'm equally impressed with Macy Barber throwing caution to the wind in that third round. That's what you want to see from a young fighter. What Alexa Grasso did.
Oh yeah, highly impressive. I agree with Joe Rogan's assessment.
She showed that she can hang with that.
Barber was still impressive. She just came up short.
But Macy Barber, we have not.
She's got to do better with her accuracy. And that's really what that comes down to.
Alexa Grasso, great fight by Macy Barber. But listen, man, you learn and you grow. But we have a new contender at 125 pounds. Alexa Grasso is the real deal. Look at her physically, though. Her back looks bigger. She looks strong. She carries more power. I'm excited to see what she gets next because when she goes into the next fight, she should be in the top 10 of the division.
And every
Let's see
time,
what happens.
and every time we see her, she's getting better.
I mean, she was out there grappling, Joe.
Yeah,
Joe, she was out there grappling.
She reversed it with the arm bar. She almost got the arm triangle. She took her back, and her striking looked as clean as we've ever seen it.
Always. She's always been a fantastic striker, but now it seems like the grappling is up to par with the striking.
Yeah.
Right here. You see this is
Like I said, I think Macy did good throwing caution to the wind that third round, but I knew it wasn't going to be enough if she didn't knock her out.
calm and collected.
She would have had to end it to win this fight.
Possesses
but they both put it out. They left it out there online. Like I think both women did phenomenal. It was a good fight, and it's crazy. A lot of these fights tonight, a lot of the good ones, believe it or not, ended in unanimous decisions. Um, I have seen a few good choke. I saw, damn, prelims had a nice rear naked choke ending, but or was it? I take that back. It was a triangle choke. It wasn't a rear naked choke. It was a triangle choke. Um, and the guillotine from Fluffy Hernandez. That was clean.
Alexa, your jiu-jitsu tonight, I think, shocked a lot of people. When you went down, you immediately started attacking with an armbar. Used that armbar to reverse position, got on top, threatened with an arm triangle, threatened with a rear naked choke. That shocked a lot of people, I think. A lot of people think of you as a striker.
I told you, I've been working so hard. I want to evolve. I can tell you that every fight I showed that I'm better and better and better. I know that, you know.
So I lost this one because I definitely voted for. I definitely picked Macy Barber to win this. My picks have been so off tonight.
Be climbing in the rankings. My name is hitting you again in 125, so I'm climbing with the right step.
Well, we know you as a complete mixed martial arts fighter now. We also know you as a contender in the flyweight division. Tell me, how difficult was it for you to make that strawweight weight limit, and how much better do you feel now that you don't have to cut that much weight anymore?
Well, when I started fighting, I saw the strawweights and I said myself, hey, I want to be on that division, no matter what.
Who you guys think? Who you guys think is next up for Valentina's title though? Because strawweight division is it's an interesting one.
The same, but the difference now I can grow my muscles, train harder and without all that cut. So it's amazing. I feel great in 135. My body's saying thank you.
That and I want to see.
Alexa, fantastic performance tonight. Thank you so much.
I want to see Andrade go for the title over for what is it?
You all guys
Not atom weight,
Grasso, ladies and gentlemen.
not
Huge
strong
win for
weight.
Alexa Grasso tonight, and she has not
What
had
weight division is
Mexico. She's
ZIN?
been training and coaching,
Hold
and
on.
will likely be in the flyweight division's top 10 by this time next week.
Let me see. Let me
Well,
see.
be your first UFC fan to experience a live pay-per-view event inside this year UFC Apex in Vegas. We're giving away a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for one lucky fan and their guest to attend UFC 259 this March. Go to UFC.com/bestseats.
Women's flyweight. I want to know who's next. Oh, they saying Andrade is next. See, I don't know if I don't know if Jessica is ready for Valentina. I don't think that's a good night for Jessica Andrade. Me personally.
Like so many of the all-time great professional athletes, total champion, 6 years in the UFC, he is yet to meet his match. But tonight, what will familiarity breed?
Wei Li Zhang, that's her name. I want to see Wei Li go against Rose. I want to see that. I definitely want to see that. I want to see Thug Rose come back and get her title back. But I really am. I'm interested to see who Valentina fights next. Because that's another one of my favorites of all time. Valentina is a beast. So who you guys got for Usman versus Burns? Who's your picks? We're minutes away from either crowning a new champion or moving forward with the current.
In a matter of moments, not far from the lit-up Las Vegas Strip, but now live from the UFC Apex here in Las Vegas, Nevada. It is time for the main event for UFC 258. Usman versus Burns. Well, the focus on tonight's headliner has been that Kamaru Usman and Gilbert Burns are former teammates turned rivals. But let us not lose sight of what this fight is. A clash of the world's two best welterweights for the sport's ultimate prize.
My cat and all cats, I'm gonna go on record. My cat and all cats are assholes. They're all assholes. It's just the reality of the world. I know that was offbeat, but I just had to say it. I don't like you.
Sometimes it feels kind of weird that I'm fighting Kamaru because we have such a great relationship. But he has something that I want. It means everything to be the champion, be the best in the world. It's going to be a war, you know, and I'm looking forward to win that war.
In the welterweight title fight, you have Kamaru Usman defending his title against his good friend, Gilbert Durinho Burns. I mean, this is a fight.
Gilbert Burns is a beast.
A year ago, because Burns is at
And I don't know if you guys saw, but Gilbert destroyed Tyrone Woodley, and I never thought that was gonna happen like that. I thought he was. I'm gonna keep it real. I thought Burns would beat Woodley, but I thought it was gonna be a way closer fight than it was. And Woodley got dismantled.
in order to put himself in a real high-profile spot against the former champion Tyron Woodley. And what did he do? He did what Durinho does, and he absolutely delivered.
Oh, jeez. Burns hurt him. Burns hurt him bad. Gilbert Burns is fighting the best fight that I have ever seen him fight. Start to finish. Domination.
That was a former champion right there, you saw. So I want to fight for the title.
He calls out his own teammate. This is a man that will do anything to become champion of the rope.
But in the champion, he faces the boogeyman of the welterweight division.
The Nightmare, Kamaru, the Nightmare Usman.
Everyone was avoiding him. Oh, the ice is down and out. This dude is terrifying. He's got a terrifying work ethic.
Oh, Woodley's in trouble here.
He has spectacular wrestling. He's got power in his punches and his kicks.
There's a knockout for Kamaru Usman.
And that was one of my favorite fights. Seeing Kamaru beat the shit out of Kobe Covington, that was one of my favorite fight moments ever. I love seeing big mouths get shut the fuck up. And that was the best shut the fuck up moment in UFC history to me.
During that 25 minutes, I have no feelings. I'm not going to see face. I'm not going to see a friend right there. I'm just going to go there to win. I'm going to war, and I'm going to be a winner. As soon as the fight is over, they're going to raise my arm, and I'll become a UFC champion.
Yeah, Gilbert Burns can win this fight. He definitely has what it takes to beat Kamaru Usman. The question is, does he actually beat Kamaru Usman on Kamaru's best night? Because I've yet to see Kamaru have a bad night in that octagon. Not a convincingly bad night. Especially when you see the way Kamaru did Covington, and then before that, the way he did,
Performance in South Florida and, of course, the great nation of Brazil.
honestly, even the fight against, what's his name? Even the fight he had against Jorge Masvidal. I thought Jorge was highly impressive for someone who only had 2 weeks to prepare, Kamaru still put on a clinic against Masvidal. He was able to stop a lot of shit that Masvidal thought he was going to be able to impose on Kamaru.
But it's a bunch of things that have happened and all coalesced together.
Needless to say, I want to see Kamaru versus Masvidal too. I think that they definitely need to run that back.
Really didn't have a background in striking. When he got into MMA, he was learning it. But now he's one of the scariest strikers in the division. When you see what he did to Tyron Woodley, when you see how he puts it on people like a seasoned striker. And if you go to the ground, this guy's a nightmare. I mean, he's a world-class Brazilian
You know who else is dangerous? Speaking of the Burns family, his little brother. Gilbert's little brother, I forgot his name. It starts with a G and it's another Herbert. I think it is. I think it's Herbert Burns. His brother is. He's gonna be a force to reckon with. His brother is actually. I could see his brother being lightweight champion. Because if I'm correct, his brother's lightweight division. His brother's a beast. One thing I can say, Gilbert looks ready. He looks loose. He looks calm, cool, collected. He looks like he's definitely in championship frame of mind. Win, lose, or draw, he can't. I don't think he's gonna be able to say he wasn't himself. He didn't feel like himself. Which kind of bothers me sometimes when I hear that from fighters. Oh well, I really wasn't myself that night. Sometimes, don't get me wrong. Sometimes you can see that they're not in their normal flow or that normal hypeness that champion or that contender has, but other times it's like, come on, man, like you just lost. You just have you went up against a better fighter that night, and you lost.
He is the greatest welterweight on planet Earth at present. The Nigerian Nightmare, Kamaru Usman, 33 years of age, 13th UFC appearance.
For sure, Shrink Snare.
With a 16-fight winning streak, he has been largely dominant since winning the Ultimate Fighter back in 2000.
And Kamaru coming out like he always do, dancing and ready. It's hard to believe that man doesn't have good knees. It's very hard to believe his knees are like bad. Because the way he hops around and jumps around, it's, man. Now, the question is, does this fight end up a ground fight? Or do you think these guys are going to swing? I'm still waiting for picks. Give me y'all picks before this start, man. I want to hear what who y'all got, Burns or Kamaru. I agree. Well, yeah, no, I can feel that. I can feel that. And like I said, I think Burns has a very good chance of winning, man. Burns can definitely, he could walk out of here champion tonight. And I think a lot of people are underestimating that part. Like, I think a lot of people are looking over Burns, and I don't think that's right.
Championship main event. Here is Bruce Buffer.
gentlemen, this is the main event.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
Sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. Chairman, Anthony Marnell Jr., Executive Director, Bob Bennett. Our three judges scoring this contest is Derek Cleary, Zali Amato, and Ron McCarthy. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the octagon, Herb Dean. This championship bout is sponsored by P3, the official protein snack of...
It's time to kick a little ass.
Now, for those in attendance and UFC fans watching around the world, this is the...
Oh, it's going down, folks. It's about to go down. And they both ready, man. I'm sorry. Kamaru looks ready. That's why I'm not trying to. After this fight, I don't want to hear either one, win, lose, or draw. I don't want to hear nobody say, "Oh, well, I don't think it was my night. I wasn't feeling myself." Like, no, you guys are both look prime.
For the undisputed UFC welterweight championship of the world. Introducing first, fighting
Man.
out of the blue corner. A big
Let's
boxer
get it.
holding a professional record, 19 wins, 3 losses. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing in at 170 pounds. Fighting out of Boca Raton, Florida, by way of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Presenting the #1 ranked welterweight contender in the world, the challenger, Gilbert Dorinho Burns. And now introducing the champion, fighting out of the red corner, a freestyle fighter, holding a professional record, 17 wins, 1 loss. He stands 6 feet tall, weighing in at 170 pounds. Fighting out of Dallas, Texas, by way of Ochi, Nigeria.
I want to look that up. I forgot who beat. Who beat? Who? That's a good question. Who beat Kamaru? Right. He said no heavy costume excuses. That's right. Yeah, I'm still tripping off of that guy right there, man. And I was a fan of both fighters for that one. Like I like Deontay Wilder and I like Tyson Fury. I really it saddened me to hear the list of excuses that came from that camp after he lost.
Intense. That was intense.
My goodness.
That was.
How lucky are we?
I mean, well, I'm knocking on the table.
Oh
I'm
my
excited.
goodness.
Your plexiglass is shaking.
It is shaking. I'm nervous.
Kamaru's been the minus 265 betting favorite. Gilbert Burns.
Gilbert came out punching. Gilbert is like, let's fight. So let's fight. You got pressure? Let's do the pressure. That's smart though. That's smart. Because if he wasn't, Kamaru would. Oh.
You had to look at advantages standing up. I think Gilbert has a more diverse striking game.
I just think he's faster. I think he might be faster than Usman, but I think technically.
Oh.
Early land for Durango with a right hand.
Oh. Oh.
Oh my goodness.
Kamaru could take a punch though. He took that shit.
Bad. Kamaru's still wobbly.
But he's trying to,
I don't know if he's wobbly,
trying to gather.
but I know he felt it. It woke his ass up.
And this is exactly how the fight with Woodley started. He hurt Woodley very early.
Oh, head kick.
Kamaru know better. Don't go down there, dude. Don't go down there. It's not gonna be good. Don't go down there, Kamaru. Get your bearings back, man. You on your feet. He's on his back. Get your bearings back. Because he's still going to have to get back up.
Especially after absorbing such a big shot.
He's such a dangerous guy, even off of his back. His guard is a nightmare.
Yeah, but even for Usman, though, right? Like, just kind of giving himself some time.
Yeah.
Make Gilbert believe that you're going to come into his guard when you're never going to. You taking that time to recover from that big right hand he took.
He's got to be careful those straight kicks to the knee, though.
Yeah, this is they getting right into it, and that's what you gotta love about this. They're not taking no time. There is no filling out process. Let's fight. Let's get it.
An up kick, and he's got to be careful those straight kicks to the knees, too. Those are nasty. Gilbert keeps touching that left knee.
That's because Gilbert knows he has bad knees. That's why he keeps touching that knee, because he knows he has bad knees. Gilbert's fucking smart.
There it is.
As long as he's got it bent, though, Joey should be okay. It's when it's straight, you get it hyperextended. As long as he keeps that knee bent.
Oh, big
Check
shot.
right hand there by, oh,
Yes, he doesn't like it. Gilbert doesn't like it anymore.
Not at all. He wants to get up now. He was okay laying on his back until he took that big right hand.
Oh, those are hard, too. These are hard leg kicks.
Yeah, a lot of kicks on that lead leg.
Oh.
Back to his feet.
Oh! I don't think they saw Kamaru ate a knee going down. He, oh.
Here, from the clinch, where he just wears on guys.
Yeah, Gilbert got back to the center. He had to make sure
Gilbert is trying to knock that ass out.
Usman is so well versed in the clinch position.
Oh. But he keeps letting that right down, and Gilbert is tagging him.
Kamaru still doesn't seem to be eating these shots all that well.
No, he doesn't. When Burns lands, it seems to have a little bit more effect on Usman than it's having on him.
strong low kick by Usman.
Yes.
Oh, nice. Oh!
And that's not something we see from the champion much, right? We don't see him throwing many kicks. That was a beautiful body kick and a beautiful low kick by Kamaru Usman. That might be something that he's working on in Colorado that he didn't do as much of down in Florida.
Nice right hand for Burns. Splits the Usman guard.
Burns is so much faster than Kamaru. And I think that's going to make a serious difference. I think Burns might come. We might have new champs. If Burns don't make a mistake, I think Burns is going to and he keeps this pace, Burns can, man.
Beautiful jab by Usman. He's fighting behind a great jab.
Dang, dog. Oh, and the jab, yeah. So they're trading jabs right now, going back and forth, and this is a fight. Gilbert is not backing down. He's throwing head kicks. He's throwing hooks. He's applying the pressure that Kamaru usually applies, and Kamaru's on the defensive. And that's what I find very interesting right now. And it's because Kamaru knows, and he realize. I don't know if he's just realizing it or if it's something that he knew already, but he's starting to realize that Burns' speed is on a whole different level. Burns is way faster, and he is throwing. Not only is he fast, but he's throwing power with it. Like these are powerful shots he's throwing at record speeds.
From Gilbert Burns. Look at this. Boom! Right to the temple.
Oh,
Huge.
then he hit him in the back of the head. That wasn't good, Burns.
Middle. Right to the body. Right to the solar plexus.
And then the knee, yeah. They caught the knee that I talked about.
Some good solid jabs from the
Man.
That's what I want you to do. You keep him on the back end. Okay, when he looks like he's gonna strike hard.
Kamaru's shots are strong, and the ones that he's landing are significant. The problem is, for every shot that Kamaru's landing, Burns is answering with like 2 or 3 shots.
You're a champion because you jab. It's because you jab, baby.
Will he tire? Neither. I don't see. That's the thing. I know Kamaru's not going to tire. But Burns, I think Burns is going to tire come that 5th round. I don't think he's going to be able to keep this level up. Now, if he can, then I'm wrong. But if I'm correct, in that Woodley fight, he did start to kind of.
And if you remember, in the Woodley fight, he was able to just pick up the pace as the fight went on. But already to this point, Usman's landed more than Woodley because he's making good
Oh,
that
that jab. He just snapped Burns' head right back with a jab. Tomorrow takes time to calculate. Yeah, he's taking, and that's, like I said, he's taking too much time. But it's crazy because his calculations are correct. When he throws those jabs or when he throws his shots, he's landing, and he's landing nice. These are nice, hard shots that he's putting in. The body shots, the jabs, the hooks. He's been throwing more. He threw more kicks in the first round, and he's throwing in a lot of fights altogether. And that's from Kamaru's side. Burns, on the other hand, like I said, Burns, he's keeping a pace, and he's applying pressure that Kamaru's used to being the applier of. And I think that's what's really working for Burns right now. On top of, like I said, his speed is ridiculous. And the power that he's laying into it is even more ridiculous. There's that leg punch again. Kamal's been throwing these. I've noticed in certain fights, Kamaru will throw a punch to the leg, like to the thigh.
He can hurt Kamaru. And Gilbert's looking to parry that jab now. You see he's using a lot more head movement, very aware of that jab. That jab has been stinging him.
Yeah, it has. But I'd like to see Usman mix it up a little bit, because if he fights with a pattern, then Burns is going to just start throwing that overhand right over the top of his jab.
Yeah, that was one of the best round ones I've seen in a long time.
Nice low kick from Gilbert.
Oh, Kamaru just hit him with a nice hook. Oh, Kamaru just knocked him down with a hook. And now Gilbert's on the defensive. He's in. Kamaru just hit him again. Knocked him up against the cage. Oh shit. Usman he's teeing off now. Now he's just tagging him with jabs and hooks. There was another hook. Kamaru is tagging this. Oh, come on, Burns. You can't let it go. He just snapped his head back. The jabs that he's knocking Burns' head back with are ridiculous. Come on, man. And now you see the body language, the whole demographic of their interaction is turned. Kamaru's now the pressure. Burns is defending. Kamaru now has the middle of the cage, and Burns is circling the outside. And the whole demographic of this fight has changed.
You got to think most of the work of this training camp was rooted in expecting a kickboxing match that's largely with the jab.
Yeah, dog. He just dropped Burns with the jab, dog. Come on, man. He told him to get up. Kamaru waved him up like, "Go. We're gonna get up. Get off your back, dog. It's time to go. It's time to knock your head back some more. I want to knock you back down there. Come on, Burns. Come on, man. Don't let it go like this. Turn it back into a fight. Take control. Because right now, I think the problem is Burns got caught, and when he got caught, yeah, that's possible. Joe Rogan just made a good point. One, he's recovering from getting dropped. Two, he could be dealing with a serious adrenaline dump. And if that's the case, then yeah, Burns could be in trouble if he doesn't figure something out. No, not done. Not done. And that's honestly, I might have to disagree with you on that last statement, because mentally, he's still in it. Like, this is still a fight. Oh, shoot. Security had to come in and separate them at the end because they got in each other's face. Like, this is getting intense. But, yeah, I think mentally he's still in there. I think what it is that he got shook. Like, Kamaru just put a clinic on his face. I don't think it's his mental. I think right now he just got shook because he wasn't expecting it. But either or, this is where I feel like he's gotten a little bit stronger because he still came back. Like he still came back and was like, no, we're still fighting.
Right here, you see Usman land this beautiful jab on Gilbert.
Even after going down the second time with the jab.
The jab led the whole show.
First round Burns, second round Kamaru. Easy.
Look at that pullback right hand.
Second round Kamaru, hands down.
Now, credit to Gilbert Burns for surviving this round. He was hurt on multiple occasions, and it looked like it was almost over. But this fight is far from done.
Oh, far from it. Because Burns is still, like I said, after the bell rung, they stood in each other's face for a second. Even after the ref was like, go to your corners, they were in each other's faces like, no, we going to talk some shit. Okay, now Burns has taken back control of the octagon, the inside of the octagon, and Kamaru's circling more so on the defensive. Oh! Oh! Kamaru's going to end it. Oh, Kamaru's about to end it. Kamaru ended it. Kamaru finished him. Kamaru just patched him out. He just pounded him out. I guess you were right because he didn't have the stronger resolve. Because Kamaru just pounded his ass out straight up. He just pounded him out right on the canvas. And I hope that didn't sound too bad. Oh, this was yeah. It went 3 rounds though. Gilbert Burns did good. You got to give him credit. He went 3 rounds with one of, hands down, the best welterweight champs in UFC history.
Overcome with emotion, bided his time. Did Gilbert Burns waited 6 years to get himself into a championship.
Are you really crying? You're crying.
Oh.
No, I'm not laughing at you. But yeah, that's a harsh pill to swallow.
And Gilbert Burns is going through it. You know, I can speak to the emotion of this moment. You know, whenever you work so hard for something and think that you have the stuff, and it just doesn't work out.
Who's next? I mean, here's the question.
Leon Edwards. I mean,
yeah, but Leon Edwards hasn't had a fight in a long time. I mean, he's supposed to fight.
It keeps getting rescheduled. Hopefully, he can get a fight coming up because Usman needs someone new. And look,
man, what a monster! Incredible. Let's look at this again. Jab from the right side.
Yeah, he switched up the stance, right? The power hands in front now.
Crazy. Look at that.
Oh.
Boom. Just completely rocks him with the jab. And he showed some new things in this fight. He worked with Trevor Whitman, and he said in the Jorge Masvidal fight, first of all, let's acknowledge that in the Jorge Masvidal fight, he broke his nose, shattered his nose 2 weeks before that fight. Didn't tell anybody.
It took it on short notice. He didn't have to do that.
Didn't have to do that. After the fight, they examined him. They go, "You got a broken nose." He's like, "Oh yeah, I had that before the fight."
Yeah. What? Let me tell you something, Joe. I don't know how a guy that's been as dominant can be underrated, but Kamaru Usman's still underrated. They don't respect him in the way that he should be getting in the world of mixed martial arts and sports overall. This kid's a star, and he should be respected in that way because look at what he's doing to the scariest men in the world at 170 pounds.
Yeah. I mean,
It's ridiculous, dude.
I mean, he's got the
This is fucking ridiculous. Like, and they're saying it perfect. Maybe Usman test for pentagram. Good fight at welterweight, man. Yeah. Even then, dude.
Has called a stop to this contest at 34 seconds of round number 3. Declaring the winner by TKO and still the
You could tell Kamaru. This is kind of an emotional win for Kamaru too, because he had to fight his friend, dude. And he just had to snipe. He just had to snuff one of his best friend's dreams out. Like, no, I'm still champion. Yeah, that is crazy. That's why I wouldn't mind seeing him come back at welterweight either. But never know, man. You never know.
both guys happy it's over, and hope they go forward in their relationship. But you watch NBA players raise their jersey. That's one of those moments, right, where you don't get to hear the words. That's for Gilbert and Kamaru. And hopefully, the words that were said in that moment allows for them to go forward, rebuild whatever gap may have been caused in the build up to this fight. And the champ stays the champ.
Well, you know, the good thing is it never got disrespectful. It was
Not
always competitive, but it never
Yeah.
got disrespectful.
Yeah, that was crazy. So both fighters just like embraced and had a very personal talk.
Kamaru's level is
There's a lot of respect there, and you could tell they still friends, man. It's just
he's a smart
this
guy.
is
And going from
this is a hard loss. Like Burns is eating some humble pie right now.
there were some things that Trevor could teach him.
Yep.
He knew
Hey,
that camp
thank
could
you.
offer him
I
some
appreciate you
tools,
guys coming
and he
by,
knew he
man.
could add his
Kicking it with
arsenal.
me.
And man, we're seeing the fruits of that labor.
Yeah, for sure.
He's just getting better.
Champions don't. Champions. Champions. Champions don't move on. Champions don't move on.
What did he just say?
He said he's the varsity,
Varsity.
guy. He's varsity.
Okay.
Kamaru Usman.
Varsity is in school.
Yes.
He's way past
He's
varsity.
a PhD in fighting.
Yes.
The guy has a PhD in fighting. And look, that performance, Joe, was as good as you can get in this role. And Kamaru Usman once again shows why he is now considered one of the best welterweights of all time. And now he gets to talk to Joe Usman. Great job, my man. And still.
Appreciate that. I am here with the undisputed welterweight
Yeah.
champion of the world.
Now
and
we're
still,
for
Kamaru Usman.
post fight interviews.
How does that feel, sir?
Feels amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
this one was a tough one. It was a very, very tough one because
So
the whole gym situation, me leaving.
for the most part,
And first and foremost, guys, you cannot discredit what Gilbert Burns has done in this division. After being knocked out at lightweight, regrouped, put it all together, moved up a weight class and started tearing through these guys. We started together. We started this journey together, and he showed it tonight. He went in there, he put it all together.
so yeah, on the main card, I only missed one.
To this point.
But overall, the main card was very interesting.
My fight IQ is different.
Um,
It's something different. It's different when you're in the gym with me.
I want to say we started off.
Different ball game. I'm a whole
Yeah, we started off the main card with a fight between Maki Patolo and Julian Marquez. And if I'm correct, Julian Marquez won that by submission. It's pretty clean too. It was a pretty good fight. It wasn't bad. You might want to actually go back and watch that one. Then next up we had Ricky Simon versus Brian Keller. Ricky Simon won by decision. I thought it was a good fight. Ricky Simon really put on a clinic. It just Brian Keller couldn't really answer. It was a lot of he got grounded out on the ground, and Ricky was a bit more. I hate to say it, but his striking was just a bit superior tonight. That was a pretty good fight. Next, you had Kevin Gastelum versus Ian Heinich, and Kelvin actually got a win tonight. And I don't mean to say it like that. Let me take that back. Let me take the actually out. Kelvin won tonight, and it was actually a very good win for him. Kelvin's been on he's been on I want to say a 3-fight losing streak recently, but to his credit, those fights were for rewards. They were pretty. Those were good fights, and he didn't just lose against bums. It wasn't like he lost against a bunch of bums. Like he actually lost against a bunch of killers that just got the better of him. So with that being said, Kevin came out tonight with a decision win over Ian Heinich, and he pretty much dominated that fight. Like it was varsity versus JV basically. I mean, Heinich just wasn't ready, and pretty much got ground out. Then you had Macy Barber come up with Alexa Grasso. I'm sorry. And Alexa came in 12-3. Macy came in 8-1. This was Macy's return fight after her last loss, and she lost her last fight due to an ACL tear. that pretty much handicapped her for the rest of the fight. So long story short, she came back for retribution, of course. She came back to get back on the train, and even though it didn't, go down, even though it didn't go down quite the way she wanted it to, I think it still. I think it was still a good fight for her. I think she still came out of it looking good. That being said, Macy did lose by decision. And I'm saying it like that because I'm a big Macy Barber fan. She's cool. I think she's one of the best up and comers out there. Like she's good at what she does, and I think she's still growing. So she's 8-2 now, but beyond that, you of course just had Kamaru Usman versus Gilbert Burns, and it ended the way it ended by the person that I thought it would.
And he had a built-in excuse. And he's still running his mouth, talking about he broke my nose and stepping in on 6 days. Give you 3 weeks, he's going to do something. Guess what? It's not done. I'll give you a whole training camp. I guarantee you won't sign on that dotted line because this time I'm going to finish your ass.
That's the fight you want next. Or another fight with Jorge Masvidal.
Any one of these fools can get it. Any one of them. But he keeps running his mouth.
Yeah.
He's going to talk. Step in here and you got to see me. Step in here and see me.
I love it. Thank you, sir.
The Gastelum fight, like I said, it was good. It was good. The Gastelum fight, he really put on a clinic, man. He put on a clinic. He pretty much out wrestled Heinich, which I think surprised Heinich because Heinich had the wrestling background, and I think he felt that was his strong point. But Calvin definitely went in there and dominated when it came to wrestling. Who would I like to see him fight next? He just called out Kamaru. I mean, he just called out Jorge again. He said he wants Jorge Masvidal, but he'll fight. The way he's talking, he'll fight anybody. Me personally, I want to see him. I know this may be a hype train, but I want to see Kazmat. I really do want to see Kazmat Chamov get a title shot. I want to see what he'll do against a Kazmat. Because that fool he's dangerous. People are really, he's growing fast for a reason. Outside of that, I wouldn't mind seeing, I want to see Leon Edwards fight some more. I haven't seen him fight enough. And it's not his fault. It's the UFC's fault. Let me start there. They've been fucking Leon Edwards royally. And I think that he gets done, to be a ranked fighter, he gets treated so bad. But yeah, I would rather see a Kazmat or someone that's been active and dangerous. I honestly want to see Jorge get a second shot with a full training camp. Leon, I wouldn't mind seeing him fight Leon. I've seen Leon, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I haven't seen Leon fight. Leon's dangerous, but I just feel to fight a guy like Kamaru, you need to be active. You can't fight a Kamaru Usman and you're not active. Like regularly active in full combat, not training. Yeah, it's good that you stay training. It's good that you stay fit and ready, but that's still not the same as being active. So I truly believe that Leon would make a good fight for the champ after he gets more active. And a fight against Kazmat would definitely be a good fight for Leon, because if Leon can stop Kazmat, which I think he can, then that definitely, I think that would thrust him into title contention right there by itself. Because Kazmat is at the rate he's fighting at champion. Let's keep it real. He's fighting at championship levels. The people he's putting out in astounding fashion, and he's putting out people that you're like, okay, for a guy who's just coming in like that, he shouldn't be just devastating these guys the way he is. Cosmot is a dangerous individual. And if Leon Edwards can impose his will and go in there and fight his fight the way I think Leon can definitely be in title contention. But I definitely still want to see him. Like I said, I want to see him fight somebody else. I don't want to see him just. I really personally think it would benefit him to fight Cosmot and then maybe fight somebody like a Jorge. Like, I want to see him go against Jorge Masvidal. I want them to get that squared. Hey, good night, man. You guys take care. I do mostly fight nights and pay-per-views, so hit me up. Outside of that, this was a good pay-per-view. I can't say it was that good when it came to finishes, but it was definitely good overall. Like, they had some good fights, a few very high points. So I'm giving this one I would say I'd give this one a 7 out of 10. 6 out of 10. 6.5. I'll give that one a 6.5 out of 10 for a pay-per-view. It wasn't bad. It was a pretty good one. Above average for sure. You guys take care. I'm going to cut it off and get done. Class is dismissed. So it's done. Get out of here.